A coroner has concluded that the online material viewed by Molly Russell was not safe and shouldn't have been available for a child to see. The parents of the 14-year-old have been campaigning for better internet safety after the schoolgirl took her own life in November 2017. Today, the Children's Commissioner for England, Dame Rachel de Souza, told the tech giants to get a moral compass. Well, she joins us this evening. Good evening to you. Good to have you with us. I understand you've been working on some public research, and amongst the results of that, it showed that 45% of children aged 8 to 17 are seeing upsetting and worrying harmful content.
Absolutely, Simon. I mean, we interviewed 2,000 children and their parents, and basically they were between the ages of 8 and 17. 60% of the 8 to 12s, the underage, were on social media. 90+% of the children 13 plus were, and 45% of them had seen really worrying and disturbing material, including sexualized content, pornography, bullying and trolling, self-harm, extreme dieting. And their parents told us just how worried they are about this. I mean, over 70% of them were using parental controls, and the children were still seeing this stuff. And I mean, even when they reported it, for 25% of them who reported it, nothing happened. So I really am calling for the social media giants to step up and sort this out for once and for all. The Molly Russell case is a wake-up call for us. And I just want to say how my heart goes out to her father, Ian Russell, who's campaigned so hard for this, like no father should ever have to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It is shocking, but sadly not surprising statistics. Just bear with us. We've had a statement in from the Prince of Wales about this. He's just released this statement saying no parent should ever have to endure what Ian Russell and his family have been through. They have been so incredibly brave. Online safety for our children and young people needs to be a prerequisite, not an afterthought. Dame Rachel de Souza, your reaction to that?
So I cannot agree more. I have 100% agree with that statement. So now it's time for the social media companies to step up. They need to remove the self-harm and suicide content. They know where it is. They can do this. They've been doing better lately, but they really need to get to grips with this. And they need proper age assurance. At the bottom of the Molly Russell case were these algorithms. Now, if you're looking at dogs or cats on the site, the algorithm will send you more dogs than cats. But if you see a self-harm post and click on it, then it doesn't matter what age you are, you're going to get this material pushed your way. This has to stop for under 18s. I mean, and that was what I was talking about when I said these companies need to get a moral compass. It is not right for this, they've had the chance to self-regulate for so long. How many more children need to die? How many more children need to suffer like this? So it really does have to stop. And that's why I'm backing the online harms bill on the child element, because I think self-regulation hasn't worked with these companies, and we need to get some tough laws in to protect our children.
Do you think the online safety bill goes far enough, though? Because it doesn't include criminal proceedings if anything goes wrong. And frankly, if you look at the kind of fines we're talking about for a company like Meta, which is a I think, $118 billion company, the fines in the millions are virtually irrelevant to them.
Absolutely. I mean, and there was talk at one point of actually fining named executives, and actually the people in charge, not for, and imprisoning them. I think it can't go far enough. So I'm really keen to see the online safety bill back. But, why can we not, why can these companies not take this stuff down now? They have the technology to
Dame de Souza, Instagram has said that it's doing its utmost to try try and protect young people. In fact, we've had a response from Meta. I'm just going to briefly read it out so our viewers have it. In response, it says that we're committed to ensuring that Instagram is a positive experience for everyone, particularly teenagers, and we'll carefully consider the coroner's full report when he provides it. It goes on, we'll continue our work with the world's leading independent experts to help ensure that the changes we make offer the best possible protection and support for teens. Is that enough?
Look, I meet the 6 big tech company leaders of the 6 big tech companies every 6 months. They agree to meet me, and I constantly ask them, how many children have you got online? Are you taking this material down? They constantly try to evade my questions. They are not doing enough. And I honestly think we're seeing mealy-mouthed responses. As I said before, we need them to get a moral compass, to sort this out now. They can do it. It's despicable to think that they put profits ahead of children's safety. I say this as a mother, as someone who's been a head teacher and a teacher for years. I've seen the suffering that children have been through on this. I do not want to see another child harmed or die. There is no kind of worthy words are not good enough. We want action now.
I mean, it does seem extraordinary, doesn't it? Because people like you and I and everyone I speak to at home, I have teenage nieces and nephews. There's a lot of concern about teenager safety online, and yet this continues on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook and the like. And people like Frances Haugen, who we're speaking to later here on Sky News, have also highlighted this. It's not just about the algorithms that are sending more content their way, it's about the content being on there in the first place, and they know full well about it. Would you like to see heads of these companies being arrested if there are criminal proceedings?
Absolutely. I mean, I think because it's on the online world, we often sort of just don't think about it, especially like my generation that didn't grow up with this technology. And I can tell you, parents are deeply concerned and don't really understand, how to protect their children properly. Because actually one of the key things that our research showed was that even when parents were using parental controls and really trying their best, children were still seeing this material. It can't be more simple than they've got to take it down, and they've got to be held to account if they don't take it down. And we need a really good complaints procedure for children. At the moment, when children see this material, they can go online to report it, and it's in an online form. 50% of the children who'd seen the material didn't even bother reporting it because they thought they'd get no response. Nobody cared. Come on, that's not good enough. So, I actually think
to the internet have an age restriction in the same way that we see for films, for example.
Well, we do. So children should not be on social media, these social media sites. Most of them have an age thing of 13. And yet we found 7 to 12-year-olds, a huge proportion of them, 60% of them were already on there. A good age assurance would stop them accessing it. Again, we have the technology now to put a proper age gate on these sites, but also, the companies can see what children are viewing and make really good assessments about their age. They need to use those tools. I honestly, truly, and having worked with them on a regular basis, think that profits have been put ahead of children's safety, and it's just not good enough. And we cannot afford to lose another young person's life. And it's really interesting to me as well that the psychiatrist in the Molly Russell case said he viewed the material that she'd been viewing. She was depressed and she was looking at self-harm material. She was liking thousands and thousands of this sort of self-harm material. He viewed it and he couldn't sleep. He was really disturbed. I've seen these images. They're really very disturbing. And just to bring this home to you, I was talking to a room full of 14 to 15-year-olds the other day. I talked to hundreds of children and get their responses on this. So for class of 14 to 15-year-olds, 2/3 of them had been sent beheading videos. I think parents would be shocked, absolutely shocked, by the kinds of things that their children are accessing, and they're not even seeking it. So again, this material needs taking down. I think we need strong legal protection for children, a proper complaints procedure. But as I said, I want the companies to step up and take this stuff down now. Just do it.
Absolutely.
Just show some moral backbone.
We're going to have to leave it there. Dame Rachel de Souza, thanks very much indeed. And I do just want to say, if anyone is affected by the conversation we've just had, you can contact the Samaritans. The phone number is 116 123. And if you don't want to speak, you can also email joe@samaritans.org.